So music was kind of an accident for me as far as being a career. When I was in high school, there was a band that formed around a song that I'd written, and I always thought that I would work my way through college playing in this band.
Well, 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 oh, Cassandra, you make my temperature rise, which I thought was a really hot light. Like a summer with a thousand Julys, a thousand Julys.
So that's how this started, with a song. In '65, I joined a band called Dawn and the Good Times, and we wore top hats and tails. And we did have a good time. We just made people smile. That was our chore. And then at one point, I joined Paul Revere and the Raiders, and never really came back to working a regular job. In the Raiders, you played a half hour, and everyone loved you. You couldn't do anything wrong. So you go on stage and, you know, screaming and yelling and I love you and all that. And as far as television, that was fun. We started filming at 7:30 in the morning, and Dick Clark would put us in a field and they said, okay, Raiders, be funny. And we lip synced to some song that we'd recorded a few weeks before.
You know, Paul Revere and the Raiders have done a lot of strange things, a lot of them funny, but this, I think, is one of the most unusual, one of the funniest. It involves nothing but their music, Jim Valley, harpo, and a couple of big turntables.
As far as the touring, you know, I wanted to tour. I mean, Dawn and the Good Times, we were basically in the Northwest, so all of a sudden you're in the Raiders and you're flying across to Orlando, Florida. The only rehearsal we had was 40 minutes before our first concert in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I knew the songs, I kind of knew the steps. I'd watched them in performance, and so I was like, send me in, coach, I'm ready. And that first concert, as we were playing Louie Louie, the band went, the kid's okay, he's gonna be all right. Playing for kids was just a magic way for me to earn a living. 1966, 67, I lived in Laurel Canyon and became friends with some of the mamas and papas and Jackson Browne and Stephen Stills, and so it was, we knew that the world was changing because of us, sort of. We had that, you know, universal love going on. My work with kids started because of a need for friendship in a school in Tacoma. Could you write a song that would help us learn to get along? And I composed a song called Rainbow Planet. And that became kind of the essence of my workshop that I did in schools. Sometimes I go to schools for a day, sometimes I go there for a week. I will do like 3-4 sessions a day. And it's basically K through 5, K through 6. And that became my career for the next 30 years. Starting first of all in the Northwest area around Puget Sound, and then the state, and then the country through a program called Math Their Way, which I did a workshop in Santa Cruz, and all these teachers and principals from different parts of the U.S. said, we want you at our school. So that happened for like maybe 5 years going around the U.S. And then I got a letter from Rio de Janeiro saying, would you ever consider coming this far? And so that started international schools for me. And so I've maybe been to like 30 different countries. And that's been a fabulous part of working with kids, of seeing those cultures and seeing that kids all over the world all want to make this a beautiful planet and make friendship. So for years, I was kind of looking around at what I do with kids about what my mission statement would be. And at one point, a teacher just came out and said, you know, your mission statement should be, you create a community of happy learners who see each other's value. So this band that I'm with now, the roots of it started at a memorial for a rock and roll friend of mine that was in a group called the Wailers from Tacoma. And I was asked if I would sing a couple songs at his memorial. So a friend of mine, Dan Wilson from a guitar store here in Gig Harbor, said, well, there's a great bass player, and Jamie, who you know, who's the drummer, said they'd love to do it. So we got together and learned 3 songs and played this event, and they said, we'd like to keep playing with you. You know, just the 3 of us. So we did. We practiced in Jamie, the drummer's laundry room, and we were just having a great time. And then at one point, we went up to see a club, local coffee club here, and there was this guy named Russ Salton. And he was up there and talking and playing and singing. I went to Jamie and said, that guy would be great with us. What do you think? So I went and talked to Russ and twisted his arm and offered him lots of money, and he finally said okay. So then there were 4 of us, and Russ was an important addition because he not only had a great place to practice, we got out of the laundry room, but he arranged and sang, and we, you know, at that point we said, this is great. So, and all of them, you know, put in 100%. So it's been about 2 years almost since we started, and it's only gotten better. And this last concert we did was like the cat's meow.
I got a brand new baby and I feel so good. She's gonna love me better than I thought she would. I'm on my way to her house and I'm plumb out of breath. And when I see her tonight, I'm gonna squeeze her to death. Claudette, pretty little pet. Claudette, never makes me fret. Claudette, she's the greatest little girl that I've ever met.
So I have a friend, his name's John Jacob. He's an engineer. When he knew that I was having a band, and he said, Jim, I'd like to come up and video your band when you play someplace. So we had lots of meetings about what we had to do, and you know, this and that, and who was going to be served, how many people would he invite. And then Russ came up with some video guy. He came on board, and that meant that there were going to be 5 cameras or however many cameras. It became just, you know, an event. We probably had close to 100 people there. And of course they were all friends and loved us, and it was hard to, you know, screw up. And it was a magic night, and it was all on film and recorded, and so it's something that I'll have for the rest of my life.
As I walk down this road, mile after mile, I find another rock down inside my shoe. Can I rest here for a while? Oopa-cow-wow-wow.
Natural Man has been just one of the songs that I've sung at parties by myself on a piano, that you just kind of get to rip it up, and has been kind of a song about, you know, truth building up inside you and kind of let it out, you know, rip down the walls. I want to turn this world around. And that song has always been fun. And I got to record it on an album in 1990. But these songs, like I'm doing with the band, are the first time I've really performed them.
Building up inside me since a long time, a long time. I got to let it out, got to ease my mind. I can sing and dance and swing this world around. Walls come tumbling down and whoa.
Well, my influences, you know, for sure are music and authors. I always have a book, and books sometimes influence a song or give an inspiration to a song. Like, for instance, Cowgirls from Tom Robbins, Even Cowgirls Got the Blues. one of my favorite songs because it actually tells a story, a true story. And I had gone to Europe in '77 with a dancer, and we performed on streets. But places where that happened, like Pike Place Market in Seattle would be an example of a place like that.
First time we made money was in the subways of Paris. We blew it all on one French dinner, Vander's slice of meat. Street dance, we sing and dance for you. Street dance, gather around this crowded avenue. Street dance, we sing and dance for you.
I have a song called Chickens that I wrote in maybe the mid-'70s, and I lived on a little farm, and we did have chickens, and my wife would say, "Harpo, go feed the chickens," you know. And so at one point, this song developed about what it was I call it a mythological autobiographical song. So I say, life became a river, spilled into the sea, ocean too deep to handle for me. And it kind of goes on, now I'm living on a farm, trying to do no one no harm. So there's a little message there, again, on that. You're trying to live a good life and not to be a jerk.
Life became a river, spilled into the sea, ocean too deep to handle for me. I found myself a mermaid, swam to the shore. She laid me on the beach, I said I can't take no more, no how, no way. Then I climbed up to the high mountain, thought I would never, ever, ever come down. Tripped, might have stumbled, and I turned into a sad old ragged clown. Now I'm living on a farm, trying to do no one no harm. I got 3 kids by the same lady, and sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Harpo, won't you feed the chickens again? Come on, chickens.
So for years, I've always thought that my music or my life was about celebrating creativity and imagination and the creative child in all of us. Because I believe we all have creativity, and if we just let it out, it'll be there.